Hey everybody, I'm back out on the trail again. I'm actually on the very northern edge of the Knobstone Trail. The Knobstone Trail is a 50 or so mile long trail. It's like the hardest trail in Indiana, I think. Well, that's what people say. A lot of ups and downs, but there's like on the north end of it here, there's like depending on which way you go, like a 7 to 10 mile loop. I'm gonna do the 7 mile one because it's really hot out today. It's like in the lower 90s. But if you look, I'm under tree cover for the most part. So doesn't feel bad in the shade, especially once you're moving. But I thought I'd film a little bit of this. I won't make a big production out of this one, but thought I'd give you some cool sights. I'm starting at the Spurgeon Hollow trailhead, which is near Delaney Park. But so here we go. So right off the bat, we come to the Y, or the T, I guess, or the Y. I just started back here about a quarter mile back at the Spurgeon Hollow trailhead to my left here. Looks like the Delaney Park trailhead is up this way, but the trail also loops around this way, I believe. So I'm gonna head up to Delaney Park and see what that's like, and kind of make my way back here around the other side of the loop. Here we go. Knobstone Trail coming right at you here. Straight up. No switchbacks on this trail. I tell you what, you got to be in really good shape to do this entire 50-mile trail, because the entire trail is like this, ups and downs, really steep. But I figure a good small 7 or so mile section of it is a damn good workout for me. But as hard as it looks, I'm actually enjoying it. Don't worry, I got plenty of water. It is hot out here, but I got 5 liters of water on my back. Should be plenty. So I'm up here on this ridge. For those of you interested, I just passed mile 45 marker on the Knobstone Trail. And the trail's like right up here. And you see the marking? It goes up that way. But there's a really cool campsite right off trail here. Nice place for a pad. Good hammock spot right there. Them 2 trees. Actually a couple over here as well. Good hammock spot there. I think somebody made a small fire pit over here. But by the way, I'm hiking in luxury. I brought my Helinox. It's basically a 1-pound chair. It's pretty light to put in your backpack. Tell you what, a luxury like this is pretty awesome on the Knobstone Trail with these big ass uphills. I mean, it's not like you're in the Rocky Mountains. I mean, we're in Indiana, let's be honest. But there are no switchbacks on this trail. They go basically straight up, and they level out for a little bit on a ridge, and they go straight back down, straight back up. But I'm glad I got this little chair to bring on backpacking trips, just to have at camp. But since it's so light, I'm finding it's a nice little luxury for day hikes too, when you ever want to stop and take a rest. But it's like the low 90s today. Climbing that hill was pretty hot, but I went really slow, took several breaks. Took a rest up here, but up here, it was nice. There's a nice breeze. Just relaxing up here with the birds. And the copperheads. And the rattlesnakes. I haven't seen any yet, but these hills are full of them. Keep your eyes open. So I've been cruising along this ridge for a while. Kind of easy going up here. I think that camp spot was about a half mile back. Looking at the elevation profile, the 7-mile loop has the one big hill I went up earlier. I'm about to go down and up one more. Once again, I mean. Then there's another little ridge area. Then I go down and up one more time. And the last half of the entire loop is mostly downhill. So that's if you go clockwise from Spurgeon Trailhead. That's what I would recommend to get the hard stuff out of the way first. Took a turn heading downhill now. I got you mounted on my shoulder here. Not sure if you can see, but I'll try to tilt this. Big giant valley down there we're heading down. It is way down there. Nature of the Knobstone Trail. Way down, way up, way down, way up. Oh, this is really cool. Just walked down that giant hill. That's about a half mile down. Down to this lush lowland. With all these pine needle beds. Isn't it pretty? Even off into the woods here. It's kind of buried in the brush. Wow, this is really cool. Look at this. Is that one tree or is that like 8 trees? Looks like one tree to me. Thing is monstrous. You can tell all the creek beds on the Knobstone are pretty dry. You find pockets of these pools that are left, but that's about it. Summer is here. I think the best time to hike this trail, because it's so, especially if we did the whole through hike, all 50 miles, my goodness. I think the best time would be spring or fall when there's plenty of water. Even in the summer, people do it and they cache water. There's a lot of road crossings and trailheads you can cache water at, but man, it's just kind of tough knowing you don't have any natural water sources out here. Here it is, the first day of summer, June 20th, I think. And this is probably the biggest creek bed on this part of the trail anyway. And it's about, I'd say 95% dry. So I kept following the trail, and apparently I took a little detour by staying on the trail. This whole loop is about 10 miles if you follow the trail, apparently. But on all trails, there's a 7-mile version. But apparently the 7-mile version, you walk down this creek for about a mile. To take off a couple mile loop, or a couple miles of the loop off of your thing. And I'm finding out that there's a lot more water down here than I thought there was. I don't really need it. I have my filter in case I do, but I'm having to walk through it now. No big deal. I got my deer tracks. I got my Alter Lone Peaks on and my wool socks, so no big deal if I get my feet wet. I mean, they'll dry really fast, but a little adventure day. Creek walking. Feel like a kid again. The drawback is all the mosquitoes down here. But I have permethrin on my clothing to avoid ticks. I got picaridin on my skin to avoid ticks and insects, but they're buzzing my face in this creek really bad. I did bring a head net. I might have to put that on. Luckily, this creek walks only about maybe half mile or so. It intersects back at the trail. So I picked up this head net, this mosquito head net, a couple weeks ago. I've never really needed one before, but I thought, you know, one of these times I'm really going to wish I had a mosquito net for my head. And what do you know, 2 weeks later, I'm walking down a creek full of mosquitoes. They're not biting me, they're not biting my legs or hands. I mean, I got that picaridin on, that's helping a lot. Man, they're buzzing my face big time, or they were. Hey man, never be too prepared, right? One thing about walking this creek is there's just a lot of blowdowns, obviously all over the water, or where there used to be water, when it was high and running through here real fast. But the fun part is maneuvering, trying to figure out how to get up and over some of these. This one actually doesn't look that bad. The one I just passed, I did not have the camera on. I forgot to turn it on. It was a doozy. Made this one look easy. But it's not like all like this. I mean, as you can see now, it's wide open. That's what most of it is. Probably about halfway through. The map says I'm coming up on the trail intersection at some point pretty soon. Still cruising the creek bank. Here's a fun one. Nothing to it. Almost to the trail. Hopefully this is one of my last hurdles. We got a few more to hurdle here. Some of these are kind of tricky, like this one. Too low to go under, but kind of too high to step over, so you got to kind of hoist yourself over somehow. This one here too. This one's going to be fun, fun, fun. I am really close to the trail. Map says I'm right on it. I bet you it's right through here. I'm gonna bush back my way back through here because worst case I see an opening right over there. I'll reassess up there. Thankfully I got the tick protection on, but I will check anyway. Something in the brush back here. Might have been a snake. Check it out. We have trail. Ooh, that's a fun detour. About a half mile through the creek. All right, so the rest is smooth sailing. So according to my map, this is my last big climb of the day, and it's a big one. So I got to the top of that big hill back there. That's a doozy, man. I took several breaks coming up that. I'm at the top of my last ridge line now. I've been walking on this ridge road for a while. It's kind of a really wide path. Maybe it used to be a service road a long time ago. But I gotta tell you, after that creek walk and creek bushwhacking and then that giant hill I just climbed, this ridge walk's pretty nice. But anyway, pretty soon this ridge ends and I start going straight downhill. About 3 miles back to the car and it's all downhill. It's about 5:30 right now. I think I started around 2 o'clock, 2:15 maybe. I've gone about almost 6 miles, but the last 3 miles will go a heck of a lot faster than that because it's just easy trails downhill. But anyway, I had to stop back there a little ways. I thought I'd broken my left toe, one of my toes on my left foot. It's kind of stiff and bent. I'm like, oh my gosh. It didn't hurt. I was just like, what the heck, man? I just felt it all of a sudden. So I stopped and took a break and Pulled out the old Helix Share Zero. Kind of checked out my foot. It was not broken. It was just one of my toes was starting to cramp. That was my first sign of cramping dehydration today for any part of my body. Said I'm carrying 5 liters of water. I got a couple liters left. So I took some time there, been smart about it. Sat there and drank a liter of water. Put some Leuco tape on that toe, attached it to another one. That way it won't try to bend anymore. So at least get me comfortably back to my car. But it seems to be fine now. Been a good day. I mean, it's hot. It's in the low 90s, but honestly, you can't really tell. I've been under the green tunnel all day, which basically means I've been under tree cover all day. There's a nice breeze up here on these ridge lines too. So it actually feels pretty good. The key is just to stay hydrated. I've almost emptied my 3-liter bladder, hydration bladder that's in my backpack, but I have 2 more liters in bottles as spares. And that's plenty enough to get me back to the car. I'm excited about tonight. I'm going to my dad's to camp. He won't be there. It's too hot for him. His lung issues and the humidity just kills him. So I'll be there alone tonight, but he's going to come out in the morning and I'm going to make us breakfast. Breakfast on the fire for Father's Day early tomorrow morning. So can't wait for that. Give you an idea of what I'm dealing with here. How steep this is. It's all loose rock too. Very slowly. These hiking poles really help in these situations. You can it's like you have front legs. You can get footing with your front legs, so to speak. So you're not putting all the pressure on your feet, which keeps you from sliding as easily. But this is how the Knobstone Trail is. It's just nothing but this, up and down, up and down. Some trails are more forgiving than others, but this one is this portion is pretty not really dangerous, but you gotta keep your eye open. As you can see, this is going down quite a ways, but the slippery, rocky part's over with. Look how steep that is. So I made it down the bottom of that hill, back on the official Knobstone Trail. I was actually doing the Spurgeon Hollow Loop, which is actually what I came here to do. But I think there are different calculations for the Knobstone Trail. Some people say there's like 48, some say there's like 50 something, some say there's 60. I don't understand it, but I believe the highest number, like the 60 something, is if you incorporate all of these trails in this Spurgeon Hollow Loop. And there's a couple of loops out here that you can actually, that have Knobstone Trail markings, but also have the blue markings for Spurgeon Hollow Loop. So I think if you officially want to do the entire Knobstone, all 60 some miles, I think you need to do every bit of the Spurgeon Hollow as well, because it's actually marked as KT as well. But some people don't do that and just do like the 48-mile version, which is fine. It's really hard. Some steepest part's over, so it's all gradual downhill, about up 2.5 miles to my car, so it should be easy. Well, 4.5 hours later, I'm almost back to where I started, but I'm back to the lake. I'm parked just down the lake a little bit. But if you remember this from earlier, started down there, came here, went up that way. Just completed my loop by coming down this way. But I'll get back to the car in a second. I'll give a final synopsis of the trip. Well, that's a wrap. It was hard. The first half was just like, by the way, it was like 9 miles total what I did. First half was like way up, way down, way up, way down. Then I had the bright idea of making the trail shorter by bushwhacking through a creek for about a half mile, 3/4 of a mile. It was actually fun, but it was an adventure, that's for sure. But the good news is the last 3 miles was pretty much downhill and flat, so I was just cruise control the last 3 miles. But anyway, if you're here, I'm at the Spurgeon Hollow Lake trailhead of the Knobstone Trail. If you want to come out and do this loop, it's up to you. If you want to get the hard stuff out of the way first, go clockwise on the loop. If you want to start out easy and then end with a bang, go counterclockwise. Personally, I'm glad I did the hard stuff first because it's hot out and I would have been really drained on gas, like fuel, whatnot, if I had the hard stuff at the end. But honestly, it wasn't that bad for heat. I mean, standing right here in the sun in the parking lot is the hottest I've been all day. But off in the woods, you're in the shade all day, and especially up on the ridge tops. Plenty of breeze up there. But glad I came. I'll probably save these for a cooler day, or at least save the next ones until I'm doing an overnight, so I can like start late afternoon, go in a few miles of camp. But it was cool. So my first, actually my second taste of the Knobstone Trail. I did a smaller version of it way down south, probably about 20 miles south of here. But yeah, I liked it. Thanks for watching.